Everyone, I hope we had a nice week. With the assignment, I think we have 4 or 5 people that did try the assignment, and I think it's okay for a start. It's not a bad one. Today we are going to briefly review the assignment, what we did on the assignment. We try maybe within the next 20 minutes to try to work the assignment together, do it together. Then we will now go ahead and do a wireframe of a new site, not a wireframe this time around. We say a storyboard, a proper site with the real image, with the real banner, with real menu, footer, body, and the header of the website. So, but quickly, we have 8 minutes. Quickly, before in the next 20 minutes, we want to try to work around this. Let us use VS Code today as much as possible. We open a new folder, open folder, and I'll also be working from the desktop. On my desktop, like I told you last week, the website must be in a particular folder. So I'm going to start another project by creating new folder, project 3. It's project 3. So I created the folder and I selected my folder. So my project 3 folder, you can see is opened here, and I can go ahead and open a new file. I'm going to open a new file, and my file is going to be saved as index.html. Index.html. So we have our index page saved, and you can go ahead and look at our design. This is what we want to achieve. Can you see my screen? I believe, okay, everybody can see my screen. This is what we want to achieve in this class. We are going to, first of all, do the background. But before that, we need to have our HTML. Like I told you last week, to have your basic tag for you, instead of typing everything one by one, your exclamation mark, and press the return key. That's the enter key on your keyboard. It's going to give you all your basic tags, a basic tag. You can click on this to save your document. So also, let us also go ahead and create our CSS file. Our CSS file is the one we are going to be using to style our document. We're going to be using that to style our document. So our CSS file, we're going to save it. I'm using Ctrl S. I don't know, I think it's also Command S on the Mac, but Windows Ctrl S to save your the CSS file. So I'm going to call my CSS file this time around my style.css. Like I told you last week, the extension for your CSS file is .css. So I have my HTML page and I have my CSS page. So the next thing is for me to now link my CSS file with my HTML file. I'm going to link my HTML file with my CSS file. Like I told you last week, for you to type CSS to link from your HTML file to your CSS file, in VS Code, the moment you start typing, it gives you the keyword and you can press enter and it's going to give you complete the whole stuff for you that this particular script you are linking is a style sheet. It's a cascading style sheet. That's the full meaning of CSS, cascading style sheet. And what's the name of the file we are linking it to? We are linking it to this file, mystyle.css. So you can go ahead and type it, mystyle. Our file is properly linked. So, but our page, this is our page. Let us open our page in the browser. I'm going to open my desktop, locate my folder, and those are the 2 files that I created for this particular project. And if you double click on this, it's going to open with your browser. Like we have been told, your browser is the one that interprets your HTML code. So we are going to go back there. Let us start from this. Posts class assignments. So that's the header of the page. You can see that is okay in the type area. I think I will talk less and we could quickly go through this so that we don't spend too much time. We have done this last week. So in our CSS, the first thing we want to do, we can see this brown background that we have. Let us first do that. That is the body. You know, we don't really, I don't know if I mentioned that last week. You don't really need to put a dot in front of body because it's not really a class. It's an inbuilt function. So using your body and you say title CSS, that's correct. Okay. Background color. It's brown. It's not really brown. So we save and we refresh. That's close to the brown, but I think we can. I think probably maybe it's an orange. I think this is what we are looking for. So I think we can use it. I wanted to actually introduce you to this, but this it says the RGB way of actually adding your color instead of you using the hash that I introduced to you last week. But I'm going to talk more about this today when we get there. It's called RGB alpha. If you had A, it's the one that will allow you to add third property. I will talk more about that today. Also, okay, now we have the background. Now let us go ahead and create our container. So we are going to have the first container, that is the one with the hash. So let's call it, it's going to be a class because the container, let's call it, okay, let me use box one. Box one, the width. I suggested some 850 by, okay, this is it, 840 by 110. That's the width is 1100. And the height is suggested to be 840. Quickly. Okay. Okay. You have that, and the background color is gray. That's great. And the central to right, that is margin. The center, margin left, auto, right, margin right, auto. We have our first box. Are we doing, what are we not doing right? What are we not doing right? Oh, definitely. We only wrote our CSS. We have not actually activated it in our HTML. So we are having our div. Your div. Then let us activate our class. You see we are calling box one. You save it and you refresh, you know we have our box. That's the first thing we need to do. Then the first one, it's advisable just reuse your CSS, the whole of this, we copy, we paste. And this time around, we are looking for this 840 by 52, 820 by 52 in terms of the width and the height. So all you just need to do is look for the width, 840, 52. And the color is white. and then that is the white box. That is this white box at the top, which is inside the gray box, the first box we did. So what we are going to be doing is to ensure, let me close this, it's confusing. Is to ensure that we had our all these boxes that all to be inside the arch box, inside them. And you have to ensure that you are closing them properly. Whenever you start a div, you sure you close it, because I notice some people are making that mistake in their code. Although sometimes the HTML will probably ignore it. So now your div, you want to have the class of box2. Let us see. Okay, something is wrong. Can't see our box1 again. Because we have declared two box1. So we change this one to box2, and we quickly refresh. Okay. You can see we need to increase this so that it will fill up the space. Since the box is 9, let's make it, let's say 1000. Okay, I think that's okay. Let's just go ahead. So I'm going to also reuse this again, because they are going to be more or less like the same size for all the other ones. Copy, paste. This is going to be box 3. This is going to be the green box. But this time around, the height of that is more. There are 3, and it's going to be the green box. And our div also, copy, paste. This is what I referred to the other time as code reuse. Box 3, and this is the definition of box 3, which is green, which height is longer, like we have here. So understand? So refresh our page. So like you see, we are already having our box increasing, but let me try to increase this size a little further. Say 1050. 1050. This is what I was expecting you to do in your assignment, and some people really did some good work. That's good. Okay, so we have our box 3. So the red box also is similar to that of the first white box. So we can just reuse that also. Similar to this. Okay, that will be our box 4. But of different color, and the color is red. So red. Red. I'll come to our HTML, copy, and you can see it's pretty easy to do this thing if you know what you are doing. If you know what you are doing, it's pretty easy. Then the next one is the toolboxes. So this is the twist. We have two boxes beside each other. I intentionally did not show you guys that. I'm expecting people to do a research on their own and be able to solve that. So people did get it. Yeah, they did get it, but some did not. So we have box 4 and box 5. Box 5 and box 6. 5 and box 6. Two boxes. 5. Box of what was the size? What was the height? They say the width is 372. let's say 400. 400. By 400. One color is box 5 is blue or something. Blue and wine. Say blue and wine. It's nothing like wine. Why? Okay. Let's use brown. Let's use this brown. We don't need this matching. So don't need this. So need this. That out. Don't need the margin. It's been inherited from the box. So if we refresh our page, we are going to have both boxes. Are they the same color? Okay, not added that here. Box 5 and box 6. But you see that they are both under each other. They are both under each other. So we need to do something. We need to do something. We need to do a float. A float is the what allows you to align your items to a particular segment, to one side. So we need to do a float. We are going to float our item left. Also, we float this to the left. That's the keyword that will allow us to have both of them on the same row. By the time we get to advanced, you will understand what how better ways to actually do that. So we can increase the size of the boxes. I think we can do 500, 500. 500, 500. So we have the last box of the footer. This is say box 7. That is going to be like the other boxes of 1050. 1050. Let us also float it. So let's give it a separate color. Let's say yellow. Yellow. Okay. Okay. You have to hide it from the HTML. That is the box 7. So basically that's the assignment. We just need to reduce the size of this so it will look like what we have here. I don't want this to take too much of our time because of the class of today, because it's very, very important. 100. Let me do 100. 100. So what is now left of this particular, this is pixel instead of X. I'm trying to rush so that we'll be able to complete what we have on the agenda of today. So what is now left for us now to do is to pad it very well on the right, on the left, margin on the right, on the left, so that we have, we are still going to do much of padding and margin in the class of today. So I think we have spent almost 18, 17 minutes on that. I want to quickly change the height of this to 900. 100 px. Let me increase it again. Let me do 950. 950. So now we need to do padding, and you need to add your padding to the white. From the white, from the first box, we had it, although you ought to have been doing that since you started. So margin top, that is the first box. Second box rather. margin top, say 10 pixel. See what happens. So you can see the boxes will start having the spaces at the top. The green box. So you see, you have your padding, the spaces increasing, your margin on the right and the left. So basically, that's our assignments that we are supposed to know how to do this with a basic. Now, today's class, what we want to do, we are going to do a complete website using the HTML and CSS, and we're also going to look at designing. Just not, we have done wireframe design. We need to do proper storyboard with real pictures now today, and we do how to use compound selector for the menu, href link, how to link images, and how to add a simple menu, and how to use some basic CSS functions to actually align the background in preparation for a responsive website, how to properly add the background image to a website, and how to ensure that the background stretches depending on the device you are using for your stuff. So I'm sure during the process of building the whole site, we are going to have a good experience in learning basic things, not just especially, and also to emphasize our knowledge of padding and margin, because those are very key items in actually website design. And also today we are going to be using the same tool we used last week to create our storyboard, because our storyboard is going to help us narrow down what we want to do. Okay, this is what's the canvas size? We are going to do a site. I'm going to do a website. I want to try to get an image online. Background image. Just a simple website. We are doing a simple website. Okay. We need to do a website for a city mall or something, or any kind of website, but we'll just say BG. I'm going to save this image in the folder, in the project folder. That is project 3 folder. Is a JPEG image. I'm going to save it as BG. That is background. I don't know if we should find a better one. Later we do. Okay, let me try this. This is having a stamp in the background. Let's try this. You actually need to use an image that is very big. It's very key to your sites. Let me use this by BG. Image. So we are using our background image. I'm going to import the background image we just downloaded. I'm going to, because we are going to design, we are going to do this design first. I'm going to first design this website in I will try to reduce the, I want to darken this image a little bit. Okay. I want to save that image in a darkened form like that. That I'm doing, that is image editing, is not part of this class anyway. Probably we can have such class of image editing on Blue Sky in the future. So what we have now, we have a background image for our website. Now we want to have a some text. We want to have a banner on the website. The banner is going to be black. It's not going to be this dark. It's something that is also transparent. Something that is also transparent. something that is transparent like this. And we have some text. Say this is big. Font color should be white so that it comes out good. That font is not great. We should use Tahoma. Tahoma used to be a very nice one. Tahoma, where are you? Okay, so we have these fonts. Home. About. This is. What other thing? Partners. Community. So assuming this is our menu, and it's not so. So just make it as simple as that. Then we have our welcome message to our community. Let me get the text from a. Let me get the text. Just want to get the text. No. I just want some text. It's like it's taking me to the same place. Oh, it's taking me to Shutterstock. I just need some text. That's all I need. Okay. I need some text here. And I need to write a big font. Nine. Classic. Okay. I'm giving it a name. I think I have a beautiful font I downloaded here. Script K. We'll increase the size of that. Welcome to Mall Classic. Okay, so that's that. And maybe I have a footer here, something that is also looking like this. Should be here. Maybe big. Where I have something like all right, reserved, blah blah blah. This website is copyrighted by. You understand what I mean? Centralize that and the dates. Maybe some link, it depends on our time. Then in the middle, I think we can also combine something with this. We can put a Google map in the middle here, so that's okay. So we are going to probably just do a simple project that will allow us to add Google Map. And embedding Google Map is not a difficult thing. If we have our time, we'll do that quickly. So I just want to import my image. Don't worry about that. So that's our Google Map, and our text is central. So this is what we want to do today. Hopefully, we should be able to complete it. So I want to slow down now so that we can understand. This is our project. Our project 3. We are starting a new project, and it's a new folder entirely, definitely. So we are starting a project 4. Okay, no, let's just call it the name we have actually named our our mall. Welcome to Mall Classic. So we are going to call it that. We're starting a new project, and the title of that project is for designing a website for Mall Classic. I don't even know how you got that name. Just came to my brain. Okay, and we are having an entirely new project, a new folder, and we are having a new file. So we are creating first our HTML file, and we create our HTML file and we save it. Index.html. Also, quickly, let us go ahead and create our CSS file. Let's call it style this time around. If style.css, because it's a CSS file, not HTML. Please don't make that mistake. Also, we start our HTML, enter, and we say, so these are our basic tags, and we can go ahead and give it the title of the page. This Mall Classic. To the community mall. So describing the mall. So that is just the basic. So let us open the folder and let us try to check our file. Mall Classic, that's the folder on the desktop, Mall Classic. So we are opening the file and we are having an empty file, just like you can see here. We are having an empty file, empty page rather. So we want to start. Let us look at our design. What's the first thing? The first thing, if I may tell, as it is our, let's say that's our background image, the background image. So the background image is saved separately, but we need to have our background saved separately because we are going to use them individually. So let me copy it, although I think I have it saved somewhere before. So this is our page, and this is our welcome page, and we can see our first page, and it's already having the title of the website. So what we want to do now is to go ahead and save our image. So like I told you, we are saving our image. This is the image we are using, and we are saving it in the same folder as the website, Mall Classic. And I'm going to save that. Let me minimize this. Save this. I think I did that before. So what we want to do now, we go to our CSS. Go to our CSS, and you know, before when we write, I told you earlier on that the body is an inbuilt function for HTML. You don't need to put the dots that we usually add in front of our classes. You know, the other time if you want to write your class, we put box 1. You need to actually add a dot. But body, there are some built-in functions like that that we are going to be using in this class, and I'm going to start telling you about them. The first one is body. Maybe I should even write them out now. We have body. We have nav. Enter. And there is footer. So we have been writing our stuff before. The body, we use a container. You can still use your container, they will still do the same thing. But there are some functionality that you can add directly to the whole body, and it will affect every component inside that particular body. So for example, our body now, we can say background color. Remember, background color is a particular color. But this time around, we are not using background color. We are using a background image. Although it's also very good to use a background color that is closer to our image. In case your image does not load properly, your background color will take over, because definitely using the background color is lighter than using a background image. So you can add a background color of something closer to our color, maybe gray or black, and the actual background image. We actually use URL, that is Universal Resource Locator, to specify where our image is located. If you have your image directly in the same folder as your file, as your image, as your index and CSS or anything, you just type the name of your image directly. But it is actually a good practice to have your images in a separate folder. If you let us look at this, what are we doing wrongly? Is there anything we are doing wrongly? Let's see. This is good. This is very good. Let me see. Oh, definitely, we are doing something wrongly. We have not locked it with our CSS file, our HTML with our CSS file. So we are going to link. It's good we are typing this live so that everybody is seeing what's going on. Sometimes you may be on that for the next 1 2 days and you don't know what's happening. Simple mistake. So we've been able to link our HTML, index.html, with our style.css. So now our image ought to come out good. So that is the first thing we have done, to have our background image. Now we need to have our box, our menu. Our box for our menu. So we're going to have our div. Let us now start with the header. But most of the time, we need to add the div. Okay. We are going to give it a class of nav. This is the navigation class. It's an inbuilt class that I told you about, but we still need to write the basic things that we want to have in our navigation. So, for example, in our nav, we want to have the width. We want to have say 800 pixel. The height. We want to have let's say 100. We can reduce it if it's too much. And say background color. Background color. I will do black. But I want us to use something else. RGB alpha. RGB alpha, like last week I told you about the primary color and how you can mix them. Now RGBA is actually another color mixing that came in with the latest versions of CSS years back. So it allows you to specify it in 0, 0, 0. That is black. Fine. But there is the third property, that is the alpha, is the one that determines the opacity, the transparency of your box. So it's actually between 0 and 1. So between 0 and 1, if you have 0.5, which means your box is going to be transparent in half. So I think we have to test this so that you understand what I'm saying. So we have a box of 800 pixel by 100 in terms of height, and this is the color black, and opacity is the one that will allow us to actually also make it transparent. So let me refresh. Oh, there's nothing in that box. That's why we're not getting anything, but we are supposed to have something. Okay, we've not had it. We did have it something. Maybe. Okay. You're supposed to have it inside the header. Is that necessary? Necessary. I'm going to have the content inside the header, and this is how you had your content ahref. That is the menu, because what we want to have inside this is the menu. Is the menu this? So we are going to have the menu. I'm not linking into anything for now. So we had an arch. Arch is the one that tells you that you are not linking this item to a particular place. But this is the index.html. Assuming we want to link this page to another page, this is where you write the page you are linking into and the text that will be visible. Like you are seeing this home here, this text home about. This is where you type that home. About. So I'm going to copy and paste all this so that you can also see from the, we can reuse the code rather. About what do we have? Services, partner, community contact. This is, oh, this is separate file. Okay. All right. Now we have, let's refresh our page. Okay. Our page is up now, but it's actually aligned to the left-hand side of the page. And we can't even see the color. That is the background color we had into the page. So we are going to try to fix that. It's already seen our class. But you can see the alignment is just like we have learned before, that any box you had it is going to be aligned to that. So we need to add our margin. Better still, we are supposed to have a container that is going to carry everything. So let us add a container. Yeah, that's the one we're referring to as box 1, box 2 the other time in the first assignment. So we are going to have a container of width, say 1100 like we did the other time. And also we are having the height. Let's make the height automatic. Auto means that the height grows as content is entering the height. It grows with the content. So what we want to do majorly is to have a margin right auto. And margin right auto and margin left auto. So we are going to have everything we have here inside that div. Right, with our spelling, container. A little mistake with the spelling, so you have to be very careful when you are spelling all these things. So our container is aligned to be aligned to be in the center of the page. So, and our text, our menu is inside the container. Like you see, this is our menu. I think we are supposed to do proper commenting and indenting. So our menu, I'm just trying to put a comment. To add a comment, you do this. So that's adding a comment. So I'm sure there is a shortcut. I don't know what it is. Then it's, let me see the shortcut. Control Shift N. Recognize A. If it's Sublime, it uses Control Shift L to add a comment. So we have our menu. That's the color. Oh, okay. We don't really need this. We don't need this. We don't need our div. It's an inbuilt class. And don't need that. We don't need the. We don't really need to call it class. You can see. Let me try to undo to see what I've done. I'm calling a class on enough that is not a class. It's an inbuilt function. It's an inbuilt function, and you don't call it as a class. You just call it directly nav. NAV. So you also terminate with slash NAV. You can see it's seen it as a tag automatically. So you've seen it as a class. So we have our menu here, and all we now need to do is to push it down. Push it down. That is a margin top. That will be margin top. Margin top, let's say 30. You can see the size of that our menu is too much. So let's go for 50 for now. 50. Let us look at our design. Our menu is far down, and it's longer than that in terms of. It's okay. Let us push it down. So we are going to increase the margin top to say 80. Okay, we are getting there. It's like our menu is tending towards the left, the way I'm saying it. So we need to do a kind of our container. Everything inside our container should be centralized. So our container, we are going to do text align. I don't know where we have to use text align, but when you use text align for anything, even if it's a box, it will still align everything to the center. So text align center. So, but I don't think it's affecting our box. Okay, let's go on. Now our menu is you can see we still have underline under the menu. So there are some things you can do. There's text decoration. There is text decoration. None. That if we want to style our menu to look the way we have it in our design, you understand? And also the color. Color is white. Color is white. This is what is referred to as using specificity in menu links, because by default, your menu will be blue in HTML. But when you use specificity to specify that your color is white, decoration and things like that, it will allow you to style your menu properly for you. So text decoration is none, and okay, it does not go to. So those are the things you specify inside your menu. So let me. What are we doing wrongly? Okay, are we on the right path? Okay. Now let us try to space the box such a way that our text are going to be in the middle of the box. Background color is white. This. Okay, this is what I was looking for before. In VS Code, it allows you to do this. Now you have selected your color, it allows you to increase the opacity of the background color using that. When you just point your mouse over it, it will bring it out for you. So you can use it to scroll. You can see it's already giving us 0.175. So that is VS Code for you. That's one of the powers of VS Code. You can see it will change the. Now let us look at the. Okay, I keep opening Sublime. Let me close it. Let me drag this to the middle. Okay. Now our margin height. It's very difficult to actually use padding for menu arrangement. So padding, let's say 10 pixel. Let's see what we get. See what we get. I think it's coming back down a little bit. Probably we need to reduce the size. I'm looking at our time also so that don't exhaust all the time on this. Still we have a lot to do. Still have a lot to do. Okay, I think it's coming there, but now let us specify another item. That is A. That is anything A. That is anything that you link. href. You can see I'm linking some stuff here, and they are called href. A. Anything that is linked in this page. You can specify the color, the preset colors. Color white. So that gives us that. And also, you can also specify the text decoration. I think that's why that is not working. Decoration. Text decoration, none. That is the one that removes the underline. It's the one that removes the underline from the text. And we can use this to open that again. You can use your padding top and padding right to ensure that we now have our item as close to what we have. You can see what we have here. The texts are having spaces between them. So we can use our padding right and padding left to do all that. So we are going to try to use padding right and padding left to space our menu, about services, to space them, to give a tangible space that has meaning. So we are going to go back to our nav and do some padding. It's good to use padding right and padding left. You use padding left, maybe 10 pixel, it will do it anyway. But it's always a good practice to have the padding on both sides. What do we do? Padding right, 10 pixel. Oh, we are supposed to add this to our. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me reverse a little bit. Now, we have our menu, and we have the about, we have the services and the likes. Now, if you look at look at the HTML, you see that we are having our menu inside this navigation. We need to write our nav in such a way that we specify directly that this particular menu inside this nav is what we want to give, some particular properties. So in CSS, we can do something like this. In CSS, we do something like this. That nav links, meaning that all the items that are linked inside the navigation folder. This is a general nav. Everything that is linked, anything that is hyperlinked, anything that is hyperlinked on this your website is going to give it color white, and the decoration is going to be none, meaning it's not going to be underlined. But we want to narrow it down. That is what it means by specificity. We want to specify that the padding, the padding between them, padding left is 10 pixels, and padding right is also a particular 10 pixels. Padding right will be 10 pixels. So you are specifying items that are inside this box. That is the essence of having this nav hyperlinks, nav issues. So if you refresh, you're going to have some. If you want them to be far apart, you can just go ahead and increase the padding. That is the padding right and the padding left. But it's advisable they are the same size because of device you will be browsing with. If you are browsing with some devices that are probably very big, it will show, to be obvious that it's not too good. Okay, I think our menu is almost set. Other things we can do for your navigation is to specify the fonts, font family. Font family, you can see different fonts that are with this particular stuff. Gray sans. You can see it means that if this is not available, use this. If this is not available, use this. If this is not available, use this. And you notice that some of them are having quotes. Some of them are not having it. Those that are having spaces between them are the ones that are having, they are quoting like this. Those without quotes, you may not see them have that. So let's do that again, so that you can see all of the fonts that we have. Font family, a lot of them, Badana, Tahoma, and the likes. And if you have some fonts that you want to use, but it's good to use web safe fonts. These are web safe fonts. It means that these are fonts that are going to definitely be in all systems. So it's actually very advisable for us to use web safe fonts. So let us look at this. You can see our font is more or less looking like it. So let us quickly, because we have just 51 minutes left. We still have a long way to go, but I don't want to rush because we're almost done. Basically, that menu is very important. It's very important. There are some other things we are still going to do that has to do with the background that I also have to spend some time with. So the other thing we want to do now is our text. That particular welcome to, which is going to be like a div. Going to be a div, and we are going to write our text inside it. That is welcome to classic. Welcome to classic. Welcome to classic. And let us see what happens. Oh, it's right here. Just right here. So we need to style that to test. We need to style that to state first. Let's define a div for that. Let's call it our class of welcome. welcome. Something animals to what we are using it for. And the font and the color. The color is white. And the font size is big, I think. The font size is let's say 32 pixels. And the font family is it looks like a script. Comic Sans. Comic Sans. Comic Sans. Okay, let's use this. I think we usually have Comic Sans. It's one of the popular fonts. Okay, I use sans serif. So let us add our div class welcome. I don't know the name of our style. Please, if you are with me, just say okay. So it don't look like I'm talking to myself. And if you have your question, you can continue to send your questions to the chat so that we look at it after the class. Okay, so let's go on. Okay. Send your questions. If you have questions, you can continue sending your questions. We'll go through it after the class. Okay, now we have called our welcome class, and we can check our page. Okay, welcome is there, but we need to push it down and probably to the left. Okay, so we need to do align left, right, and we need to push it down a little bit. Then margin, padding top. Yeah, padding top. No, margin, because we want to put, let's give the box a color. That is the background color. So we remove the background color after we are done pushing it down. Let's give the box a color. Let's what you have done. That's the box. That's the box. So we want to first push the box down. So say margin top 600. Okay, that one is too much. Do 80 pixels. Okay, let's do start. Let's look at our design. It's not bad. So let's move the background and increase the size of the fonts to 38. With the background color, put in a hash. There's a shortcut of that. Okay. Okay. Now the other one, we're just going to reuse this as our body. That is where we have our text. Welcome message. So this message is also white. Margin top is not that much. Say font size is 14 pixels. I believe you all know what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. This we need to write this. This is what we want to do next. This text, this welcome message. And I'm going to copy the message. I'm going to come here in our div. That div is just below the welcome message. So we are going to have another div there. We're going to have another div there. div, enter. Our text inside that div. I think there is a keyword here that allows these things to wrap. There's a keyword that allows this thing to wrap. Wrap, view. Okay, I don't know that now. But there's a shortcut. I just want us to use VS Code today. I know more of the shortcuts in Sublime 917. Okay, now we now need to call the class. The class, what's the name of the class? Message. Message. That's the name of the class we are using here. What is that? Let's see. Let's see this. Refresh. Okay. Now we need to work further on this to ensure our text is properly the way it's supposed to be, like we have it here. What we are going to do, we are going to use a lot of paddings and left and right paddings. So we are going to use padding. Left padding, right padding is going to be more. Right. See 400 pixel. Let's see the effect of that. We're getting there as close. So let us increase it to 450. Padding. Okay, so we're almost there. We're also going to do we're going to do something that will make it justify text align. It's not going to be just left, it's going to be justified so that our text is justified. Yes, our text is going to be justified. You understand what I mean by justify now? And we are going to also increase our padding very well. Let's say 500. I'm going to give everybody this particular file so that you can all study it for the next assignment, because we are going to have our next assignment very soon. So we have our text, but I don't think it's looking the way, even though it's also not also looking good here, but I'm expecting you to all use all tools in your arsenal to ensure that the text is looking good. So we should use a proper font family. Font family, that is the font types. Let's say Tahoma. Let's see what Tahoma is giving us. That's good, not bad. Let's increase the font size. Font size to, I think we have font size before. We only need to increase it to 18. Let's remove this. Okay, not bad. I think it's legible enough. I think we should leave this for now, and I would like to go back to the background before I go back to the. Okay, meanwhile, I would like to do the footer. I would like to call the footer as a class. The way we call this nav is also an inbuilt function that we are going to call down here. It's just going to be footer. It's not having anything. We are just going to type this inside. All rights reserved. I shouldn't, I believe you all know that now. But we need to actually also define what our footer is. I can reuse this. But we didn't specify the width and the height of our footer. And so I think I can, should be the same height with this. Let's quickly do that, please. Footer is background color. Let's use this. I think it will go for us to use the black. To use the black and something that is having transparency. That's what we want to use, and the width, let's say 1000. Height, say 100. Okay, and we have it here called our footer that is defined here. I think you have it down there, but that color doesn't go well, so I think we are going to change it to black. That is it. Black is 000. It's the easiest color to remember anyway. Black is 000. So we have our footer, but you can see the text inside is still not properly specified here. So we need to specify our color is white. So you can go ahead and do the padding left, margin top to ensure that it is properly aligned. But before that, we are going to add our map, but I want that to be the last. Afterwards, we need to actually understand now. Now, looking at this, we have been able to create a page. It's okay for a start, but you can see the background is not still looking good. I'm zooming in and zooming out. That's what I'm doing. I'm holding down my control key and I'm zooming in and zooming out. So we need to actually tidy up the background, the information we have for our background. There are some keywords that came in with the CSS body that can allow us to make the background image look more responsive to the kind of device that are actually using to browse the website. Because if you switch background, you can see the background is not really flowing very well. So this is what you can do. You can add something like background size. Cover. Background to cover. It will flow very well. You get, you can see it's going with me. So these are the things. I'm just trying to introduce some things to you, especially when it comes to responsive website. These are some of the things we use when we are building a responsive website. You can see it's still going with me when I'm going. But you notice something that is duplicating at the bottom. You can see it's doubling up the background, even though as big as it is. If because we are looking at this on a small screen, that's why you are seeing it like this. If you are looking at it on a smaller screen, you will see some flaws. So there is one other thing you can do. You can say background repeats. No repeat. Background repeats, no repeat. So two things you need to do. So you can see your background is not repeating at the background. When you zoom in and zoom out, you have a covered image. So those two things I want you to remember very, very importantly: the background cover and the background repeat. There is one other thing that's also very key. There is this. When you are looking at your HTML actually the body. All you have been writing is from body to body. But there is this key that you can write for all the HTML. I don't know why we use it, but I know it comes in. All these things comes in handy when you're actually working with mobile device. You do HTML in your CSS. Make sure it's 100% so that it's sorry. If you flex it very well, you will notice that your footer, when we are doing, let me remove it so that you see what I'm saying. We are using let me remove it so that you see what I'm saying. You can see the background. You can see the background is having the hash. So you can see the hash at the background at the lower part of the page. But if you are using your HTML 100%, it drastically reduces that effect. Reduces that effect significantly. You won't see that because your page is always going to be 100%. You get it's going. You won't see because your HTML page is going to be 100%. I'm emphasizing this because they are very key things when you have to do a site that is going to be viewed on a device, mobile phone or a tablet. Those are very key things. So I think we are good with this. The only other thing is I can see our menu is not properly aligned. It's not aligned with our footer. So we need to make sure they are the same size. Our footer is 1000 while our menu now is 800. So let us put this at 1000. So we are going to have this. Simple. Next thing we want to do now, we want to integrate the Google Map. It's one of the most interesting and very simple things to do actually. So we are going to Google Map. I'm going to get to Google Maps. So you locate a particular place on the map. Okay, let us look for the White House. White House. That's the White House. So we want to integrate Google White House on our map. So all we just do is we share. We click on share here, and it's going to give you this. But we want embed a code, embedded code. So this is the code at the top here. Medium, large, we want it large. Maybe do medium. So we can copy. Okay, just copy. And copy your code. But you know we have to create a frame for it, and that frame is between our text and our footer. So we need to create a div. And we just paste our code. So I just pasted our code. That is the code we copied from our Google Map. So let us see how it looks before we start adjusting it anyway. Okay, you can see our map is not aligned properly the way we want it. So we go to our code and we do some adjustment ourselves. Let's say our width, let's make it 100%. Let us make our width, our height 250. Okay, so but we don't, the div we don't have a name for it so that we can do some padding and margin for it. We don't have a class for it. So I'll just create another class map. We say, okay, map padding top. Let's add 20 pixel. Padding top 20 pixel. Okay, let's do that. Let's see what we get. So we're calling the class of map. That is the name of the class here. And let us see what we have here. It's just to give it a space between the text we have up here and our map. And from here, you can navigate in our map. So I think we have been able to do that properly, and also the width is not too good. It doesn't align properly with our menu. So what do? We do width. I think it's 1000 pixel. Isn't it? Okay. So I believe we are good now, and we have been able to achieve what we set out to achieve, except probably the footer, whereby our item is not having a top padding. That is our footer. We don't have a top padding. That is a padding top 30 pixel, so that we can have our item in short. Aligning text used to be very difficult stuff, but oh, did we save that? So we use scroll padding top. We need to be very careful what we type. Okay. So my friends, we have been able to achieve what we set out to achieve in the beginning of this class. Having our menu, having our text, having our welcome message, our text, our map, and so I believe you have been able to learn a lot, and I'm going to give you this to do as the way for you to reference this code and the CSS file. I'm going to package it and send it to the platform, or probably I'll put it on Git and you can download from there. I'll send you the link. Also, before we start asking for assignments, before we start asking questions, we have, this is 9:33. I will quickly go ahead and open a new page that we are going to do a design of the next assignment. And I'm expecting everybody to do justice by doing something good. So the people have not been asking questions, but I'm sure you guys are doing great. I want to look for a background image. No, not Bandedian. Food. Okay. Maybe we are doing for a food company. Food. We are doing for a food. Okay, let's do that. Not bad. Save this. You can use any image you like, actually, but follow just do something. You know that you have done something that is close to what we have want to do. So we are going to have a box as our menu, a box that is curved at the edge. I'm sure you know how to curve the edge of the box, because we did it in the last class. Some people say they didn't get it. Was to curve the edge of the box. This is doing it in the graphics tool. to do it in your CSS is you use border radius. What we have done here, assuming we want to curve the edge of this our menu, what we need to do, what is the class for that? That is the nav. That is this width 1000. What we need to do is add border radius. Border radius. Let's say 10. Let's see how curved that can be. Okay, you can see it's curved a little bit. I think it's okay. This boy is disturbing me here. Don't worry, it's in your promise. So it allows you to curve your menu just like that. And the same way, we are going to curve some of the edges of this menu. So I'm expecting to do this. And let me reuse my text here. And this, and this, and this. And this is going to give me another color. I want to have a separate color here. We have been shown how to use floats. Float your box to the right and to the left. If you have issues, Google is our friend, all of us. So we are going to have something more fun. I'm expecting to do something more fun. No, we are going to have something better than this. I'm going to do this like this. Let this be here. Need a banner. I'm hoping that last class we'll be able to go into details of having things like a slider, having a slider on our website and things like that. Quickly, I don't like this. Okay, this is good. This is like our menu for this website. It's just a frame with a text, so that shouldn't be an headache for anybody. And this is the location of that shop. Give your shop a name, please. And this is the map that will allow people to locate your shop. And this is the banner of the shop of what you do. And let us add the footer. The footer that is similar to that of the sorry. I want to do Ctrl+C and Ctrl. Let's have something that is not round. Oh, sorry, it's too round. A bigger box, having a color of this. Let's be creative. Let's be creative. Let's be creative. Whatever you will do that makes it look similar. So we have 20 more minutes for questions and answer. Let me save this. I'm going to forward it to the admin. Okay. This is what we are doing for our assignments. So thank you. God bless. So I don't know if there are questions. Which software are you currently using, please? What do you mean? For the design, I'm using VS Code. For the where I'm using to code the HTML and the CSS, I'm using VS Code. But the one I'm using to do the drawing of the storyboard that I probably refer to as for wireframe, if there is nothing like text, is Macromedia Fireworks. And you could also use any other thing that is more convenient for you. But this adds some pretty tool that allows you to do some nice stuffs, you know. It allows you to do background removers and the likes easily. You can see how easy it is to remove the background of some pictures. You know, it's easy to transfer when you need to do property alignment and stuff like that. You want this girl to have another third eye at the top here, or something like that. You know, can be very interesting too. So you can also make use of it. And Photoshop is also more powerful than this, far powerful than this. I mean, Photoshop. Actually, they bought Fireworks already. I don't know. So somebody is saying, how do we copy our demo site to app.netlify? I think we have a document that gives you the information, the step-by-step process of putting your stuff on Netlify. We probably, the process probably is too long, just 2-3 steps to do it, shouldn't be this long. So we repost it with the assignment inside. So then you send your assignment to the admin. Send your assignment to the admin. We are going to, I think that's all for all the questions. Thank you so much.